Hey, I'm Monet Capri and you're watching Faithful and Stylish TV. Well, I haven't recorded in a while, but something has just been kind of on my heart lately, and especially because someone said something that kind of struck a nerve with me. We were talking about how long we've been single, and I told him that I've been single since 2010, like graduating high school. Yes, I've been single since 2010, and he thought that that was just so crazy. He's like, oh, you must be, that means your dating life sucks, or your single life has been terrible. And I'm just like, thinking about being single in the past, like straight out of that relationship that I was in, yes, it was, I thought it was the worst thing ever. I thought that, what is life? I'm never gonna make it through this heartbreak. Like, I just was heartbroken. Like, I never thought that I could make it past that. And so for me, I always wanted to be in a relationship just because of the way that it made me feel. It kind of validated me, and it kind of made me feel important. It made me feel like someone wanted me. And I was just looking for a relationship for all the wrong reasons. Which is why whenever I got out of a relationship, well, not out of a relationship, or if something didn't work out with me talking to another person while like just casually dating, I would feel worse or like just really bad because I was just looking for a relationship for all the wrong reasons, right? And so basically what I realized is that singleness is not a bad thing. Like, whenever someone talks about being single, 9 times out of 10 they are speaking negatively about it, right? But what I discovered from being here on my own for 2 years, the last 2 years, I've noticed or realized that being single has been one of the best things to have ever happened to me. Along with relocating and, you know, living on my own and growing in that way, also being alone with myself without any outside influence or anybody that I'm trying to be a certain way for, just me. Like, I'm just pleasing me, and that has been the best thing to have ever happened to me. And what it taught me is that singleness is not a negative thing. And I feel like I want to let so many young girls know, and people my age or maybe even older, that being single shouldn't be something that you associate with like a bad thing. It's actually when you can truly learn and grow into who you want to become. And yes, when we connect with other people, that also brings out amazing things in us, things that we didn't even know that we had. But there's a certain time and a certain place for that type of situation, you know what I mean? So when you are single, don't just think of or focus on like, oh man, I want to be in a relationship so bad, that you miss out totally on what you can be getting out of just being alone. And it's a difference from being alone and being lonely. I'm alone, but I'm not lonely. I have friends, I have people to hang out with, I have a phone to call whenever I'm feeling lonely. Because yes, there are times where I do feel like I want someone there, and I want a companion. I want that guaranteed person that, you know, that'll always be with me, that, you know, I don't have to second guess it. I do crave that sometimes, but I know that I'm meant to be single right now. So instead of worrying or trying to make something happen that 9 times out of 10 won't work out in the end, I'm just going to focus on me and really treat this time as the precious time that it is. I'm growing and I'm learning about myself, things that you can't really learn when you're trying to please somebody else. And not to say that a relationship is all about pleasing the other person, but subconsciously you are thinking like, oh my gosh, I wonder what they would think about this. what would they think if I wore this, if I decorated my house this way, if I decided to eat this or decided to start working out. Like, it's just, I can make a decision and not care what anyone thinks. Like, I can make a decision for myself, and it's teaching me who I am and what I like, what I don't like, and it's making me confident. And it's crazy because I used to be so self-conscious. Like, I needed a relationship, or I thought I needed a relationship to make me feel beautiful, to make me feel wanted. But I feel more wanted and beautiful being single than I ever did in a relationship. And it's because along with being single comes a vulnerability that a lot of people shy away from, and they try to hide it with a relationship. Because being single and being alone, you're forced to deal with you and deal with your issues. And I feel like a lot of people think that they want a relationship when 9 times out of 10 they need to just face themselves and look in the mirror and figure out what they don't like about themselves. Because, you know, we just like to, when we don't want to do something or we don't want to deal with something, we like to distract ourselves. We like to find something else to do, something that can occupy our time. So that's what a relationship does to a lot of us, and that's why we are sometimes in very, very bad situations, because we just want to make it work, and we know that we're not supposed to be with that person, but we need it so much because we know that if we were alone, we have to face the funk, we have to face everything that we've been dreading about, you know, getting to know ourselves. And it could be a scary thing, you know, just being with yourself, because there's no one to distract you. Like, you're just forced to look in the mirror and figure out what you like and what you don't like. And so I've been very appreciative of this time. It hasn't always been this way for me. Like I said, I've had low self-esteem. I thought I always needed to be in a relationship, even though I've only been in 2. But I dated, and, you know, on the verge of, you know, making it official, I guess, whatever that means. And I thought I needed that so much. But, you know, being here, I realized that we need to appreciate our time being single and not just let it be in vain. Because, and I know that people who are maybe older than me or who have been single for way longer than I have, because it's only been, it's going on 9 years. I feel like that's a doggone long time, like, to not be in a committed relationship. And to be honest, if we're being real, I was 18 in my last relationship. So I'm an adult now. So I haven't been in a committed relationship as an adult, as a person who's independent. So I know that the next relationship for me will be an eye-opener. It will be some growing pains because I am so used to being by myself. But I also welcome it, you know, with open arms, because if we're not growing, then I feel like it's pointless anyway. So besides that, I know that there's some people who are looking at me like, girl, you don't know what it feels like to be single for 20 years, for 30 years. And you're right, I don't. But at the same time, I feel like God's giving me the wisdom to realize that these years are not punishment. You being single is not punishment. And I feel like the quicker that you figure out what you need to get through your singleness, the quicker you'll be in a relationship that you want so bad. But since you're, you know, pouting and crying and woe is meing, like, you're not going to get what you want, and God is not going to give you the man or the woman that you want. I feel like you have to be an adult about it and be mature about every season that you're in, and try to get what you're supposed to get. Not try, but get what you're supposed to get out of each situation. Because I feel like the longer you put off trying to get something out of it, and the longer you put on a show and cry, the longer you will be in that predicament. And so I feel like I'm learning Like, the quicker you learn, the quicker you move on to the next thing. Like, I'm just realizing that, like, the quicker you get the concept, the quicker you move on to the next lesson. And not, you won't move on until you get that lesson. Like, that's not fair. Like, you can't just skip through life and think that you're not gonna have to visit everything that you've been putting off. So yeah, that's all I really wanted to say about being single, that it's not a bad thing. It's not perfect, it's not always happy. Being in a relationship isn't always happy, isn't always joyful. Like, so think about that, you know. I had to think about, like, it's not going to always be good times. Like, yes, there's those times where I want to go out on a date. I want to have that closeness with somebody, that connection. I see it, like, if I'm walking down the street and I see a couple together and they look so in love, it makes me want it. When I see it in a romance movie, it makes me want it. But it's only a temporary feeling. Just like if I'm looking at TV and a commercial comes on for McDonald's, they make that look so good, it makes you want to go out and buy it. But I know that's a temporary feeling because, one, I don't even like McDonald's like that, and two, I just got through eating. So I know that I have to have self-control and really sit back. Like, you don't really want that right now. And so yes, there are some people who really want a relationship, but instead of focusing on what you don't have, focus on what you do have, and focus on something else that you can obtain during that, you know, that time, because it's kind of out of your hands to be with your soulmate until that person is brought into your life. So you have to be mature and, like, really stop and think, like, no, I just want it because I see it, or I just want it because I feel sad right now. I just want it because I just saw this romantic movie and it just put me in a mood. Like, no, if it's meant for you to have it, you would have it right now, especially if you're doing everything you're supposed to do in your life. If it's meant for you to have it, you will have it. Just like a job, just like a house, just like a car. If it's meant for you, you're gonna get it. So no need to stress out, no need to feel bad, and no need to associate such negativity with such a beautiful thing. In here, I'm like, there's so many other things to focus on. Like, I really don't have time to think about me being single. Like, there's so many, like, and not even like bad things, I mean, like, to focus on, but there's so many good things that could be going on in your life. And so instead of focusing on that relationship that you don't have, focus on the so many other things that you can be doing, and focus on your aspirations, your goals. And I just wanted to, you know, let you know that being single is not a bad thing. Embrace it and enjoy these years, because once you're in a relationship, it's good. No more being selfish. You have to give yourself away. So I just wanted to give that little nugget, and thank you so much for watching. And I'm gonna be uploading more and more. So thanks again for watching, and see you later. Bye.